On June 8, 2026, Omar Artan boarded a flight from Istanbul to Miami. He wasn't going to the World Cup as a fan. He'd been selected by FIFA, one of only 52 referees on the planet, chosen to officiate. He had the credentials. He had a diplomatic passport. He had a valid visa. He had spent 8 years building a career to this moment.
We decode the systems most people never see until it's too late. Why they rise, why they fail, and what the patterns reveal about strategy and power. This is Second Move, the logic behind the outcome. Subscribe to see 3 steps ahead.
For 11 hours, they questioned him about Somali politics. Then they put him in a holding cell and sent him back to Istanbul. Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., the man hosting this World Cup had just received a brand new award, the FIFA Peace Prize, personally created for him by the president of FIFA himself. That image tells you everything you need to know about how the World Cup actually works. To understand how we got here, you need to go back 8 years, to a hotel conference room in Moscow. On paper, there were 2 bids, Morocco, and on the other side, the United 2026 bid. FIFA's own evaluation gave Morocco a score of 2.7 out of 5. The technical concerns were severe. 6 weeks before the vote, something happened that sent shockwaves through the entire bidding process. The North American bid team was rattled. Their leader was forced to go on a media tour, repeating the same message. The vote came. United 2026, 134. Morocco, 65. Not close. Trump tweeted his congratulations. But here's what's easy to miss. There was another man in that room whose fingerprints were all over the result. His name was Gianni Infantino, and this was only the beginning of his plan. Gianni Infantino became president of FIFA in February 2016. He inherited a wreckage. His predecessor had presided over a 24-year corruption scandal, $150 million in bribes. His first major act was to push the World Cup from 32 teams to 48. More teams, more matches, more money, more leverage. Infantino has a gift for befriending powerful men. Putin, the Emir of Qatar, the Saudi Crown Prince. Infantino called it bringing everyone to the table. He walked into the White House. He brought a gift, an oversized red card. He jokingly told Trump he could use it whenever you want to kick someone out. Over 7 years, Infantino became a fixture at the White House. He attended the inauguration. He brought Trump's daughter into a FIFA draw. He announced a formal partnership with Trump's Peace Council. December 5, 2025, the Kennedy Center. Halfway through the World Cup draw ceremony, Infantino paused and announced FIFA's very first Peace Prize, a prize that had not existed before that week. The machine had made its bet, and it expected a return. The United 2026 bid was sold on a specific promise: open, inclusive. The first World Cup in history to have human rights criteria written into the rules themselves. Then Trump won re-election, and the gap between the promise and the reality became impossible to ignore. 40 countries affected by travel restrictions, most of them African. Fans from Morocco, Egypt, Ghana, and Jordan, nations with players on the pitch, found visa applications rejected with no explanation. 5 participating nations saw their fans hit with a $15,000 bond requirement. And then Omar Artan landed in Miami. FIFA credentials, diplomatic passport, valid visa, 11 hours of questioning, a holding cell, a flight back to Istanbul. No explanation given. The Trump administration's response offered no evidence, no explanation. FIFA's response? They confirmed Artan would be unable to officiate, and then quietly agreed to pay his full salary anyway, estimated at over $100,000. Not as compensation for what happened, as a way of making the problem go away without having to actually address it. When a journalist asked Infantino directly why FIFA hadn't done more, his response was 3 words: chill and relax. In Mogadishu, thousands packed a stadium, not for a match, but to welcome him home. They draped him in the sky-blue national flag. They hoisted him onto shoulders. The man who couldn't enter the World Cup host country was received like he'd won it. The man whose own federation paid him not to work. Russia 2018, Qatar 2022, USA 2026, Saudi Arabia 2034. Each time, the concerns were raised. Each time, the tournament went ahead. Here's the thing about systems. They don't lie to you. They show you exactly what they're optimized for. And what the FIFA system is optimized for is not football. It's legitimacy. Every 4 years, the World Cup produces something money can't buy directly. The feeling, fleeting, powerful, that we're all on the same side. And that feeling is for sale. Does it matter? The matches are still happening. The players are still extraordinary. But the system that delivers those moments has its own agenda. And each time the line moves a little further, Omar Artan is back in Mogadishu. His World Cup is over. But UEFA, the European governing body, stepped in. They appointed him to referee the Super Cup final in Salzburg this August, the first African ever to hold that role. The machine that excluded him doesn't get the last word.
Everyone plays the first move. Subscribe to Second Move.